Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite genres in the whole wide world. I'm going to be telling you 5 reasons why I love dystopian fiction so much. The first reason I love dystopian fiction is because I like to see what a world would look like if the wrong people had a lot of power. We've seen this throughout history, particularly say in Russia, for example, with the Tsars in the 20th century. We've even seen it today in places like the US, for example, where people in power, white men in power, think that they can just, make abortion illegal in some states, with some discrepancies, but still comment on women's bodies. They shouldn't make laws about women's bodies. Anyway, I like to think, what is the worst world we can imagine? Who are the worst people who can be in charge? And you might think that's a bit miserable. I'm a bit of a sadist, and yes, I probably am. I'll be interested to see what a psychologist would say. If you're a psychologist, let me know. Let me know what's wrong with me. But I just find that really interesting. I think it's because I'm a bit weird, but there we go. The second reason I love dystopian fiction is because I find it so gripping. My favourite dystopians, for example, they take their time explaining what the world is like, and you're given little clues about the world, for example, but it's not fully explained straight away. It's explained throughout the book, and I like that. It's not just given to you on the plate straight away. You slowly learn, and the world builds up around these assumptions you make about the world. Anyway, the best writers do that. I've read some dystopians where the authors are just not very good, I would say, and a bit boring. But the most interesting dystopians, I feel, do that. They don't give it to you all straight away. They keep you guessing. The third reason I love dystopians is because I love rebellion in books and music. Again, if you're a psychologist, let me know what you think about that. Yeah, I think it's a bit odd. Anyway, I just love to see characters do bad things. Well, good characters do bad things. I'm talking morally here. And I just find it really satisfying. I find it satisfying when you have a terrible society and people don't like it and they stand up for themselves. In dystopians, they're mostly killed if they stand up. But there you go, you win some, you lose some. That's happened in real life and that's absolutely terrible, obviously. But in dystopian fiction, it's not real, so we don't have to worry about that. I love rebellious music as well. I say rebellious, I mean like punk rock, for example. It's quite rebellious in its nature. It's about rebelling against politics of, well, say the 1970s when it was most used. Anyway, going off topic, I like rebellion. I like rebellious characters. Number 4. I like the mystery of dystopians. One of my favourite things about 1984 and The Handmaid's Tale is trying to decipher who are the good characters and who are the bad characters. What do I mean by that? I mean, in dystopians you often get 2 sides, don't you? The generally nice people before the dystopia was created, and the people who maybe try to create the dystopia in the first place. And you think, okay, what side are these characters on? And I just love the mystery, and I'm always guessing, I think this person's good, but then they turn out to be horrible and kill loads of people. I like that though. I like it when good writers keep you guessing. You wouldn't think dystopia, one of my favourite things of dystopians is the mystery, but it is. It's good. And lastly, to leave on a nicer note, I appreciate my life a lot more once I finish the dystopian. So at the moment in the UK, it's not that great, I'll be honest. Every day I look at people and think, did you vote Brexit? Did you? Well, it's not. I don't like the word Brexit. Anyway, I'm constantly questioning people's morals. And it does make me quite miserable, actually. Before this whole stupid referendum happened, that felt like there was more of a community in the UK. For example, London Olympics. That was an amazing year, and I felt really connected with everyone. Like, I would walk into a supermarket and think, yes, patriotism. But now I think patriotism is very bad for this country. But then I think it's not as bad as what it could be. I read 1984 and think, yeah, it could be like that, and that would be terrible. At least I can walk out now and I'm not going to get shot. And again, this can be applied to to society nowadays. I'm very fortunate. The way I look, I'm white. That's a privilege. And it really makes me question, how am I privileged? What other ways am I privileged? Maybe I'm not privileged because I'm a woman, for example. But I'm very privileged in lots of other ways, in that I live in a safe country. And like I said, I'm white. That is a privilege. I'm privileged that I live in a house. I'm privileged that I can afford books. I'm just privileged in so many ways. And dystopians make me really realise that. And I don't think I would take things not for granted. That's good English, isn't it? I would take my life more for granted if I didn't read dystopian books. Well, there we go, lads. That's the reasons. So yeah, pick up a dystopian. Think, my world is terrible. It's not as terrible as this though. And it'll probably make your day a bit better. Who knows? Again, if you're a psychologist, is there any studies done? Are there any studies about dystopians and well-being, for example? Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found this enjoyable. Thank you for listening to me ramble again. If you'd like a video of me recommending dystopian fiction, then let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. That wasn't a good one.